Marley, get in here, girl.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Miss Marley Jaxx, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I am this kind of energy on a Friday morning. I am so happy to be here.
I am so happy you're here too, and you carry an energy about you that's absolutely incredible as well. So I am so thankful you joined us. I know it's 3:30 in the morning. You're in Alberta, Canada right now?
Yeah, it's a weird location to be, but that's where I am, and I'm happy to be here at 3:30 in the morning.
3:30 in the morning. Well, you look great. I'm so glad that you joined me. I want to go back in time just a little bit. We're going to dive right into this interview because these are short, right? We don't have a ton of time. I remember you mentioned when you were on the stage in January, sharing a stage with Tony Robbins, sharing a stage with Prince EA, sharing the stage with Tom Bilyeu, which I'm going to need his phone number, by the way, because I've been trying to
Me
get a hold of him.
too.
Right?
Can
So
we get that?
yeah, right. So you're sharing the stage with all these people, and that was one of the things you mentioned is everybody was cheering, standing ovation, 5,000 people, and you're like, "Whoa, I only got 28 minutes." So like, I gotta get to it, right? So we're gonna dive in. Obviously, this is a morning show. You've done some incredible things in your life, especially over the last like 3 years. And we're gonna dive into that here in just a second. But before we do, I always like to ask people on Rise and Grind, like, I believe success leaves clues. You've had a lot of success over the last few years. When I read, it seems like most successful people have some type of consistent morning routine, something that they do every day when they wake up that's fairly consistent. Would you say that that's true for you? What does it look like for you when you first wake up on a normal day and it's not 3:15?
When it's not 3:15. This is a rare occurrence. I'm happy to be here. I'm like super hydrate. I have like so many bottles of water within.
Wow.
So hyperhydration, I think that's the key to giving your body this like abundance of what it needs. But then some movement, some learning, some reflection, like 20-20-20 rule in your first hour of the morning.
What does that mean? 20-20-20 rule.
20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes of movement, whether that's like yoga or lifting weights, something to move your body, get a little sweat on.
Yep.
Reflection for 20 minutes, whether that's a meditation or journaling, some sort of just like quiet space to connect with you. And then learning. So whether that's a podcast or reading a book or a couple inspirational or motivational or educational videos, 20 minutes in my first hour, 20-20-20 in the first hour.
Beautiful. I love it. A combination of hydrating, hyper hydrating, right? Marley, last year I challenged myself. I read David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me.
Oh, so great. I devoured that book.
I did too. And then I was like, okay, what do I hate? And I was like, I hate water. So I made myself drink nothing but water for 365 days last year.
Good for you. How did it change your life?
It's now I crave water. I like my water now. Actually, like I hated it all 365 days because I had to do it, but now I like it.
Yeah.
But yes, that's awesome. And you hit the three key points, right? We got to take care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning. I like how you broke it down into a 20-20-20. I think that helps. A lot of people don't. We talk about morning routines all the time. I have something called the morning 5, which is don't hit the snooze button. Don't touch your phone first thing in the morning. Write down your gratitude and goals, take care of the physical, and then send out an encouraging message. Lift somebody else up, right?
That's life changing.
Yeah. So I like that you put some times on that 20-20-20. That's awesome.
I especially love the part of not hitting the snooze button, because if you start your day by delaying it, by not committing to getting right up and at it, that's huge. What is that? That says a lot about a person to just be like, all right, I'm up. I committed to getting up at this time. I am getting up at this time.
That's right. You got to do it. Hop on up, girl. So let's go back in time just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. Let's go 5 years to be safe. I think most of your rise has happened in the last, 3 to 4?
Yep.
Okay. So let's go back 5. What were you, who was Marley? Well, it wasn't even Marley Jaxx back then, but who was Marley 5 years ago?
Marley 5 years ago was Marley Grunewald. We talked about this before the show. Like, what a name. Can't spell it, can't say it. That's not a welcome to the stage kind of name.
Welcome to the stage, Miss Marley Grunewald.
You can't spell. It's just not phonetically pleasing.
Right.
I was back in the day a dental hygienist.
Wow.
That's actually one of the most common questions on my YouTube channel. Marley, why are your teeth so white? And I'm like, I don't drink coffee, just lots of water.
Yeah.
And I just, brush and floss every day. And it probably helps that I have a dental background. But I was a dental hygienist, and I knew that it wasn't my forever career. It was kind of just something that I was doing until I figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up. Before that, I worked in event management. I had a short stint as a paparazzi assistant. I got some fun stories there.
Right.
But yeah, I was a dental hygienist cleaning teeth all day. And I think that was my start in learning how to create content, because when your hands are in someone's mouth all day, you have nothing, you can't have a two-way conversation. So I had to learn how to entertain people through stories. And I would like split test my stories to see which one, okay, this one got a good laugh, or what if I tweak the story here to make it a little more. And so that's how I feel like I got my start in creating content.
That's pretty incredible. I love that thought process. So you were literally thinking like, this story worked, this didn't work. How do I entertain them? How do I make them more comfortable? How do I serve them better through the power of story while you're a dental hygienist, right? Yeah.
I tried to be a stand-up comedian dental hygienist.
Gotcha. I see. So I could see that. That would make me want to come back and get my teeth cleaned, right? If it was entertaining that way. So how did you know? You said, I knew that this wasn't for me. Like I was doing it. It was my job. I was good at it, but I knew it wasn't like the end game. How did you know?
I think I just always knew, even as a kid, like I didn't fit in. I always felt like the black sheep. Like I would have ideas, or I would want to do things, or just always feel like there was this big sense of impending something that I wanted to do with my life that didn't fit the norm or the 9 to 5 kind of thing. But I didn't know what that thing was. And also when you're not surrounded by people of the same, it's hard to nurture that too. So I'm so glad that entrepreneurship fell into my lap, and now I have this community of other crazy people just like me who want to rise and grind, who want to put in the work, who want to make their greatest contribution on the world. So I knew that I wasn't going to be a dental hygienist, but while I was figuring it out, I knew that it was a good career where I could help people, where I could have a career also that was like, you can't take work home with you when you're a dental hygienist. The teeth stay at the office. So that gave me the time and the space to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? Yeah,
that's beautiful. It really is. And I like how you were able to identify that the people around you didn't think like you. And so now we got to get some people around us that do, right? Like it's super energizing, like you said, when we're in the right circles. It can be a little draining when we're not. So so 5 years ago, you're a dental hygienist. Mm-hmm. Last month, you were on stage with Tony Robbins.
Is this real life?
Right. So share with us a little bit about, I mean, I know that's a big span, but how do you go from dental hygienist to sharing the stage with Tony Robbins and some of the other most incredible speakers on the planet?
Yeah. Well, overnight success.
Right.
I show my mom these videos of me on stage, and I'm like, look, Mom, it's me. Like, isn't this amazing? She's like, that's great, honey. Still go do the dishes.
Right.
I honestly, I love, the overnight success, years of hard work, hustle and grind, staying up late, getting up early, doing the work. You asked me before we even went live, like, how did I get this? By showing up, by working, by being committed. I found opportunities even as a dental hygienist of what can I do outside of this? I kind of fell into being a social media manager, that I was doing social media for the dental office. And then their IT guy was like, hey, can I refer you to one of my other clients? He referred me to all of his clients. All of a sudden I have a business. And then from there, I started to see the opportunities that businesses needed support in spreading their message and making an impact, and then turning that impact into revenue, turning that revenue into reinvesting into more impact, being able to reach outside of just their backyard. And that's where I decided to like really dive deep and study and see how I could work with these impact-driven, profit-focused entrepreneurs who want to make an impact on the world.
And so that's really what you're doing now, right? You're helping people tell their story through video.
Yeah, yeah.
So that they can continue to build their brand, reach out, impact more people, make a bigger influence, and hopefully make some money along the way, right?
Absolutely. That's the point, because I don't care what movement you name, there was money behind it that helps to spread that impact, whether it's more resources or team or ads. Like, that's going to keep building this future-based cause or whatever the thing is that you're trying to contribute to the world.
Awesome. So why video? You could tell stories through books, you could tell stories through blogs, so on and so forth. Why do you think video is so important, and how crucial is it that people integrate that into their branding, whether it be, the people that are watching right now I've got business owners, I've got car dealership owners, things like that. Talk to me a little bit about why video is the catalyst that you chose and that you believe is what everybody needs going forward.
Yeah, and it's just a medium. Like, it's just one way of creating content, but it is the way. Like, back in the day, families would be surrounded around their radios, then turn to the TV, and now we have these devices that we bring with us everywhere, and we have televisions in our pocket when we're in line at the grocery store. We're consuming content all day, every day, and video content is the most consumed content, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. And when you think about how people are shifted by emotion, and people purchase based on emotion, and then they justify logically. They are impacted by the things they see, whether it's through video or music. Even think about when you hear a song for the first time. You could hear a piece of music and hear it once and remember those lyrics. Mm-hmm. How come, like, you read a book and I don't remember the next day or even like moments later what I just.
Sure.
So when you can also put the power of video, this like visual and the music behind it and the words you can speak, and that people can really see your personality and get a feel for who you are through the power of video, in my opinion, there's no better medium to be able to share with the world your gifts, your impact, and make a profit while doing it.
Yeah, I really resonate with that. I like how you tapped into the emotional side of things.
Yeah.
I feel as though the greatest motivator, I think, is clearly emotion, right? People are motivated by fear or love or whatever. When there's emotion involved, we can really move people. And I feel like our society we're disconnecting in so many ways, right? Like, we're creating all these barriers between people and so on and so forth, that people are really seeking that interaction, whether it be in video to where I can see you, hear you, feel you, so on and so forth. So I think we can all pretty much agree video is an awesome medium. It's the way to go. It's powerful. So if you know this and I know this and the people that are watching get this, what's holding people back from diving into video? Why is this such a hard thing for so many?
Yeah, the biggest fears: time, tech, talent. So saying, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't have a camera. I don't know what kind of equipment to use, or why me? I'm afraid of the camera, or someone else out there is already doing it who is bigger than me. So, like, let's tackle all three. Time. I don't have time to do this. What else are you spending your time on? Especially when you can be making content that makes such a powerful impact and can become an evergreen asset. Like, think of, like, do you want to own real estate on the internet, or do you want to keep renting it through paid advertising, which you got to keep putting more dollars and ad spend into?
Right.
Or you can own some virtual real estate by creating video content, which can be hosted on YouTube, which is a search engine. People can find it all day, every day. I have videos that I made in 2016 for myself, for my clients, that are still ranking at the top of search engines, that people are finding on autopilot, opting into my email list, being nurtured into my products and services. And it's a video that I made 4 years ago.
That's beautiful.
Just sitting there.
Yeah,
okay, so if you don't have time to do that, like, is that really, I'd rather invest my time into something that's going to continue to bring me returns. Mm-hmm. So let's work smart.
Yeah.
Tech, cameras, sure, that's another thing that people sometimes get hung up on. When I first started making video, it was my iPhone, this little thing right here. Most of us have these. I propped it up on a chair, like on a stack of books in a chair, and I had a lamp with no lampshade, or I would sit in front of a window, natural light,
Right.
and I would film my videos like that. That's all you need.
That's it.
And that's it. Talent, people saying I'm not good enough, or I'm afraid of the camera. That's a big one. The camera's a piece of metal and plastic. You're not afraid of it. You're bigger than and I also want to point out, like, if your audience is drowning, if they need you and you're saying I'm not good enough, like if someone's drowning, you have a life preserver. It doesn't care what color it is. Like just throw it out to them. And yes, there might be other people doing it, but like, so what if Oprah already has a book? Like, your message, your story, who you are is going to impact those people. So sure, you can say that you're not talented enough, but also you got to put in your 10,000 hours. Gary Vaynerchuk had 1,000 episodes of Wine Library TV before anyone was watching him.
Right.
Now look at him.
Right.
But you don't see those 10,000 hours that he had to put in to become the Gary Vaynerchuk that he is today.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You got to put in the work. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep posting the videos.
Rise and grind.
Believe me, I know. I'm on the episode 570 of #Rise and Grind. We do get a lot of viewership here on Facebook. We'll get thousands and thousands of views on Facebook, but we post them all on YouTube, and nobody watches my stuff on YouTube yet. But I know Marley, so you're going to help me with that before we get out of here. But I think it's so true what you say. You know, those are the three things, right? People are afraid, or they say they don't have enough time. But I think that we all can, if we look in the mirror, ultimately admit that there's a little bit of time being wasted somewhere on something that's not adding any value into our lives. #Netflix, #fake news, right? So I think we can all agree on that. And then as far as the tech piece, my goodness, I went and took my daughter's trying out for a play, Little Mermaid. And
Nice.
so I took a picture of her with my Google Pixel, which I highly recommend. I took a no promo, no sponsorship yet, but Google, if you're listening, I love the Pixel. So I took a picture of her. I did a headshot with her with my phone, printed it out. The guy asked me for my copyright. He's like, "Did you have a copyright from your professional photographer?" I said, "Bro, I took this with my phone." He's like, "No way. This is a professional photograph." I'm like, "Nah, man, this is it." Like, technology nowadays, we have it right in the palm of our hands. And then just getting out there and doing it, right? Like, just get in front of it. Don't be afraid of it. It's just a freaking camera. And if you've got a story to tell, which we all do, right? If we got a story to tell, God will ultimately use that story to move people. We just got to get there and tell it. Now, you have a story. You've had, obviously, we're talking about your wins. You've had some struggles and some trials that you've had to go through. And I know on one of your videos, you talked about how important it is to be really authentic and real and raw, right? Nobody wants to see all that fake nonsense. They want to see the real you. So talk to us a little bit about what it's like being super entrepreneur. You're traveling around, everything's going well in your career, but then some things aren't going so well in your life. And how'd you get through that?
Yeah, that's so true. We see so much Instagram filtered, Instagram worthy pictures of the mansions and the Lambos, and that's very exciting. But what people really want to connect with is reality and real people. And sure, I shared my journey and going from being a dental hygienist to 7-figure business owner. I shared that all on social media. And I would share the behind the scenes of working and traveling and being on the road so frequently. But everything changed when I got hit pretty hard and shared that vulnerably with the world. So earlier this year, I announced publicly that my marriage ended. And it was right before, like we were talking about before, this big speaking engagement, the biggest opportunity in my career.
Yeah.
5,000 people sharing the stage with all these amazing celebrity big names. And here I am, like, I'm the underdog. Nobody really knew who I was. I had a smallish audience at that time. And I made this video announcing that my name changed after the marriage ended. And that video part of me felt at the time so scared to announce that. And I almost didn't feel like the timing, if I didn't have this big speaking engagement coming up where I had all this exposure and knew that I needed to publicly announce my new name because of it, I'm not sure if I would have done it at that time, but I'm so glad that I did, because first of all, I was so nervous. And of course, like when you're being vulnerable and sharing your story, there is that part where you're like, this is my heart, like mud, guts, everything, like here it is for the world to appreciate or to stomp on. Right. We take that.
Right.
And I felt like a failure. My marriage ended. I thought my friends and my family would be ashamed of that or look down on me for that. But instead I decided to embrace that and be open with it. And what happened was that my audience embraced me and encouraged me to push on for them, not just for me. And that's where everything changed. And I started to document my journey leading up to the stage, to this big moment. And it was a big story of perseverance for not just me.
Right.
And I'll still get messages all the time from people saying, you inspired me, and hearing that story and seeing what you're going through, for no matter what they're going through, whether it's their marriage or whatever else going on in their life, everyone has struggles. But to see that here's how I did it. And this is why we watch movies, and we love to watch the underdogs and the rags to riches and the hitting rock bottom and being able to make it on their, we cheer louder when they win because we know where they came from.
Absolutely.
So that's part of it, is sharing the journey and how you made your way back up, and showing the good, the bad, the ugly, the blood, the guts, the everything.
All that stuff. We cheer louder when they win because we know where they came from. I love that. And I also love how you said that the story is not just for you. It's not about you. It's about carrying others and making an impact in other people's lives through what you go through. And I don't want anybody to miss that. There are people that are watching now live that are going to watch later today on replay. There are things that are going on in the world today, and there are people that are going through divorces. There are people that are dealing with illnesses. There are people that are dealing with economic issues. There's all kinds of stuff. And I want you to make sure not to miss what Marley just said. That story, whatever it is that you're going through, it's not just for you. It's not just for you. It's about the impact that you can make in other people's lives through your perseverance, through your fight. I stinking love that, Marley. Thank you for sharing that with me this morning. It's 6 o'clock already, which means we're already basically past our time. But
we're having so much fun.
I know. And see, we have to be respectful of people's morning routines, because I'm such a stickler on, like, you got to have this morning routine in place. You got to drink your water. You got to do your stuff. But I'm going to do just a couple more questions. If you have to go right now because you got to go get on the treadmill, you got to take your kids, you got to get to work or whatever, I understand. I fully give you permission at this point in the show to hit the share button and then go do whatever it is that you need to do. I give you permission to do that. However, if you want to stick around, hang out with me and Marley, I'm going to ask her just a couple more questions. We're going to dive in. So, entrepreneurship, the journey, getting to the stages, the fight, the hustle, the grind, the hours, losing your marriage, right? Losing your marriage. I'm sure some of that plays into that. It has to, right? So all of those things, it's Matrix style, okay? It's Matrix. I'm Morpheus. I've got a red pill and a blue pill, right? The red pill is you go down this entrepreneurial rabbit hole that you know is going to lead you to all kinds of crazy work and having to do interviews at 3:15 in the morning and ultimately having to change your name. And then you've got the blue pill where you just get to take it and you get to go back and everything is just calm and normal and you're a dental hygienist and you get to watch Netflix 8 hours a day. Which pill do you take now today, knowing everything that you know about how hard it is to really be an entrepreneur?
I take the red pill every single time. We have signed up for a life of consistent inconsistency, of constant transition. I didn't sign up for things to be easy. And I think the moment that I realized that is when everything changed. That I'm like, oh, yeah, I signed up for this because I want to be able to adapt and evolve and grow. And my business will only grow to the level that I do. That's what I signed up for. Red pill every time. I love
that. It will only grow to the level that you do. That's beautiful. I'm with you. It's a lot of hard work, and it's crazy.
And I'm ready for it.
But I wouldn't have it any other way now that I'm in it. I've been on the entrepreneurial side 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Before that, I worked in dealerships. I ran a really large car dealership here in Paris, Kentucky. I started this show, Rise and Grind, on January 6th, 2018. So just 2 years ago, I started going live in the morning. And so from the first day that I went live, fast forward 10 months later, and I was sharing the stage with Eric Thomas. And then from there, I quit my job. And then here I am now. I guess it's been 16, 17 months since I quit my job working for somebody else, doing the entrepreneurial thing, right? So it's fun. It's a lot of work. All right, here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna wrap this up so I can let you go and I can let them go. But before we do, I want to. Well, we're gonna do two things. I'm sorry. I like you, Marley, so I'm gonna keep you on for.
I like you too. I could keep going. This is great. Let's.
We'll keep rolling. All right, two things. I need two of your top like video tips that you give people, and I want people to know. I already saw Terry Collins on here, wants to connect with you because she has questions about video and tech, and she's been waiting for me to bring a guest like you on for a very, very, very long time. So if anybody wants to connect with you, what's the best way for you to connect with them? And then let's add some value to them right now as far as what are maybe two video tips that you would give your clients when you're working with them.
Yeah, two big things. Always lead with the story. So as much as, yes, we want to share the strategies and the tactics, that's really important. Of course, they want to get the meat and potatoes and be able to help them with what they came here to watch. But they're going to resonate and connect with you when you tell your story. Russell Brunson shared this at Funnel Hacking Live of how you learned it and how you earned it. That shows your audience, again, like we talked about, how the journey on the way up, that's how you got there. And it also shows them why this is so important that they listen and pay attention and respect you as the person who teaches it to them. So share the story, how you learned it, how you earned it, and then it also connects to them personally, so they'll remember you. Like if I just go to a YouTube channel and I see this video and they're just like, here's how to do this, click here, bloop, 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 I don't remember them.
Sure.
But if they tell me their story that like tugs at my heartstrings or makes me laugh or something, and then it makes me really care about what they're about to teach me, and then also want to hit that subscribe button or continue to follow them because I resonate with them, that's the whole bread and butter there. Yep, that's the ticket. The other one, oh God, there are so many. Just be you, like even when it's uncomfortable to do so. One of the most quoted things that I said that magically came out of my mouth at that event a couple last month was that helping people doesn't stop just because your life isn't perfect. And I said that because I shared the importance of being vulnerable, and the power of your storytelling is due to the vulnerability of the storyteller. And I went through a little bit of the story and said I had that moment where I thought maybe I should stop creating content because why would anyone listen to me when on the outside it looks like I don't have my life together? Why would anyone listen?
Right.
But helping people doesn't stop just because your life isn't perfect. No one's is.
I love it. I love it. So how do they connect with you?
My YouTube channel, youtube.com/Marley Jaxx. Also Instagram. I try to be a stand-up comedian on my Instagram stories as well. So
nice.
Whether you want to laugh with me or laugh at me, there's that. I have lots of resources for learning how to do video and share your message for free on my YouTube channel. We have some 21-day challenge stuff that is life-changing and helps people in just 21 days to get started, get out there, or grow what you're already doing.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Lead with the story.
Yeah.
Lead with the story, and then just be you, even if it looks a little rough. That's what people are really connecting with, right?
Showing up, no matter how messy it might be. I mean, I'm not telling you to be a hot mess, but
right. Get your life together, but you don't have to get your life together first.
Yeah,
just get your life together, but record it while you're doing it.
Document it. Yeah, I love what Brene Brown says, share the scars, not the open wounds. Yeah. And I said that very clearly in my videos where I documented what happened with my marriage and the journey to this stage. There were times where I would say, all right, this is a bit of a wound. I can't share this yet.
Sure, sure.
But sharing the scars and showing people you can turn your pain into your power, you can turn your mess into your message. It's very powerful.
Beautiful. Love it. All right, we're going to do one last thing here. All right, Marley. You are on top of a mountain.
Ooh.
All of civilization is at the base of the mountain. They're looking up at you. and they're cheering, Marley, 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 Marley. All of them, like they're going crazy. Like dudes are ripping their shirts off. They're dancing, Marley, Marley, Marley. It's wild, right? And you have 2 minutes. You have literally 2 minutes to drop some practical wisdom on all of civilization, something they can apply in their life today, this week, this month, this year. It's going to make a massive impact in their life. What are you going to tell them?
Goodness, I feel like I would just repeat everything that we've just been talking about for the last half hour.
But you only got 2 minutes. Got to drop it on them. What are the most important things in life?
All these people. I'm just put your shirt back on. First of all, I'm a little overwhelmed here. I think I would just, again, reiterate, like, helping people doesn't stop just because your life isn't perfect.
Yeah.
No one's is. Share your message. Understand that your message is so powerful and important, and you can turn who you are, turn that into a personal brand. Be the star on your own stage. That was something for me. I was always in these supporting roles when I knew I have a message to share. I have a way that I can impact my audience. And for the longest time, I would go ahead just with the strategies and the tactics. Here's how you can do this and this to make your business better. And everything changed when I got vulnerable and shared the story behind it and shared who I was. And people would look at me and go, Marley, everything has changed. What is different about you? And it's like, I've been this person the whole time, but I didn't show that. And because of that, then people didn't appreciate the strategies and the tactics that I was sharing. So you can make an impact and get paid just by being you. But you have to be willing to tap into that. And sometimes it's messy, like we said, but you got to keep showing up.
Yeah.
And in a world right now where we need more love and support and encouragement, and we need people to be authentically themselves. And also people, there are more opportunities than ever to make money from home, from anywhere in the world. There are businesses being hindered by the economy and the political climate right now. You have the ability to make an impact and a profit by being you.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that. Be the star of your own stage.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Marley, you are clearly an amazing human being, uniquely made. The God of the universe made you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're out there doing it. You're living it. You're putting in the work. And I want you to know that so clear that all of the things that you're putting in, they're making an impact. They're making an impact on your friends, your family members, your coworkers. And today you made a massive impact on me and the Rise and Grind group. And I, for one, absolutely stinking love you for it. I do. Absolutely stinking love you. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go say bye to them. You hang out here in the green room just a second. I'm going to let them go, and I'll come back. Fair enough?
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Hang on just a sec. I told you that Marley was going to be awesome. I told you that, right? I told you. And again, the one major thing that you can do for me when we have guests on our show is to honor them. Blow her up today. I want you to blow her up with friend requests. I want you to blow her up. Follow her on her different platforms. I want you to look. Vicky Everett just said a speaker for Hustle and Grind Con 3. We actually talked about that. She was going to be one in April, but then we were trying to get her in April, but she had a speaking gig in Italy in April, but then that got canceled in April, but then our Hustle and Grind Con got postponed from April. So I'm going to try to get Marley Jaxx on the stage in October at Hustle and Grind Con 3. You have my word. I will do everything in my power to make that happen. But incredible human being. Blow her up. Friend her. Follow her. Do all of those things. Support her. Encourage her. Tag people. Hit the share button. Whatever we got to do to get Marley out to the rest of the world. Help me with that. And here's what I need you to also do, which is if you need more videos like this, go to glennlundy.com. That's right, glennlundy.com. Have an amazing weekend. Hug your family. Call your loved ones. Live your life. Do not go into hibernation. Do not go into fear mode. Continue to go out and make an impact in other people's lives, because that is why we are here, my friends. Let's not forget it. I know there's a lot of things going on out there, but let us not forget it. Hi, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon Falk, for introducing me to Marley. I truly appreciate you. Listen, go out there, have an amazing day today. I'll see you Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on #Rise and Grind.